Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your daily lunchtime show where we catch up on current events and headlines making their way in the country. My name is Aurelia Samuyenga, and this is NMH at 1. The Roads Authority has urged road users to exercise extreme caution when traveling on the MR 118 Roshpina to Oranimun Road, as the road is likely to be closed due to the anticipated flooding of the Orange River. A media statement by RA advised road users to therefore first ascertain the status of MR 118 Road before making any travel arrangements. According to hydrology reports, the highest level of water should be expected from this coming weekend until 5 or 6 February due to current high rainfall in South Africa. Thus, if the water levels rise higher than the road level, RA will have to close the road immediately for the safety of road users, said the statement. The Roads Authority said a section of the MR 118 road from Roshpina to Oranimun, east of Sanderlight Mine, is currently slightly above the water levels flowing from the Orange River. The RA will continue to monitor the situation, and the public will be updated about the status of the MR 118 on all relevant platforms. As per usual here at NMH at 1, we bring you a number of video news clips from all over the country. On Thursday, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Namibia hosted a workshop to discuss women's rights in order to draft an alternative report to the government's CEDAW report, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women mechanism. The church, with its partner stakeholders under the Council of Churches, has spoken to rural communities, including women and youth, to investigate the status of women and Namibia and what forms of discriminations they still grapple with. This video is by Anna Marie Smith.
I feel like we're in a country where women are still subjected to poverty, women are still subjected to abuse, women are still subjected to lower their standards, and women don't have a voice. And I feel like this workshop is giving women a voice. I think one of the key highlights that I took from the meeting is we had a female bishop who was saying, as a woman, it has to start with inner confidence.
Galatians 3 verse 28. Once again, there is no difference between races, genders, social standing. We are all one in Jesus. So in the light of all of this, is there any merit in the church or society to still oppress, exclude, marginalize women?
In our society, we have inherited old cultures that were cultures of respect that somehow changed into cultures of oppression without us realizing that or knowing that. And I've come to share with the sisters and brothers here the message that I see in Scripture, that the relationship between men and women is not a relationship of hierarchy, one is better, stronger, cleverer than the other, but that we are in partnership. That is what the Old Testament, I believe, teaches us, and that is what Jesus teaches us. And when we get into a position of leadership and authority, whether it be in church, in parliament, in regions, in society, in municipalities, it is for us to remain true to who we are as women and to remember those women in the country who still feel very much excluded, oppressed and marginalized for many ways.
We have realized as the church that despite different interventions that has been made by government to improve the status of women, there's still major challenges that remains. In particular, issues relating to violence against women and so on, and some of the cultural practices that still keeps women behind. Sometimes, as we hear at this workshop, the Bible and the church scriptures have been used to keep women behind and discriminate against. So, as a church, we we thought that it was high time that we come out also and to say that you cannot discriminate in the name of the church or using selected scriptures. So we felt that we also are key stakeholders that must address this issue. And an opportunity also arose through the Lutheran World Federation, where they had some support available to do this work. So we invited the Lutheran churches in Namibia to participate in this. So we also felt that Lutheran Church alone cannot do this. That's why we did this under the auspices of the Council of Churches in Namibia, and so that we can also involve other churches. Other civil society organizations are also here. So this is really a church and civil society partnership.
The Namibian government has sent a report to CEDAW saying how they have improved on all these different articles on how to support women. So we have gone out and we've done workshops with youth, young women, and we've spoken to some rural women as well to see what are their thoughts on what the report says. Has the government really reported correctly what they're saying? Is there no more discrimination against women? How is the government helping the women in Namibia to be less discriminated? So basically we are bringing back today the reports from the women and the youth, so that we can basically share with the civil society organizations that are present here on what the woman has said on the ground. How accurate is the information that is submitted, and what can we do as a civil society to assist in writing an ultimate report to CEDAW?
We hope that after the submission of this report, when the committee sits in March this year, afterwards, when the committee makes recommendations about how Namibia can further improve the status of women, we'll be able to sit with government and do a plan of action, which hopefully will get some resources from government for implementation, because this has been some of the criticism, like the National Action Plan on Violence Against Women. There's been a very good action plan, very ambitious, but lack of resources, lack of budgetary support for that plan, and it has not been effectively implemented. So we are.
For the past 3 days, My Zone, in collaboration with FNB Namibia, visited 6 primary and high schools in the Oshana region for our Back to School campaign. We were met by bright smiles and excited minds who are ready to kick off their school year. And for our final clip for the day, Chill's Michael Kayunde gives us a taste of what's up on the entertainment front.
Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Michael Kayunde from Chill Sessions right here on Namibian Sun. I'm here to give you a countdown, not a countdown, but a gig guide of what you can expect this weekend. So for tonight, you can catch the show Chill Sessions right here on Namibian Sun's Facebook page at 7 o'clock p.m. On that show, we get to speak to Manebe as well as Esho from Ethnics. They both recently released new music videos out, and they paid us a visit to talk about those music videos. For tomorrow, you can catch the open day at Vinduk Benguela Clubhouse. There will be entertainment by Janelle Botta. There will also be stalls, exhibitions, seafood, and everything. So in case you are wondering, you don't have something to do on Saturday, the Vinduk Benguela Clubhouse is your spot to be tomorrow. I'll be back again next week, same time, same channel.
And now let's have a look at the stories making headlines in our national papers for today. Namibian Sun leads with the legal troubles of a self-proclaimed prophet from Rundu, Sebardias Muronga, who appeared before a traditional authority chief after he had allegedly impregnated 2 ushers from his church. The 2 women, who are cousins, approached a traditional authority after continuously experiencing complications with their pregnancies. One is 6 months pregnant, while the other woman's baby is due next month. While the 2 women shared details of their stories after the newspaper, the pastor, who is younger than both of them, is allegedly denying that he fathered the unborn babies. In their version of the controversial Rundu pastor story, the Namibian also goes into claims that he has assaulted the 2 women. His church was also ordered to close with immediate effect. Meanwhile, the well-known Windhoek doctor Danny Jordan was granted bail of 100,000 Namibian dollars yesterday, as he stands accused of illegally possessing leopards, cheetahs and baboons on his farm. Prosecutors said in court yesterday that Jordan had allegedly threatened to kill an official of the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism who had been investigating him. In today's lead story in New Era, Anti-Corruption Commission Director General Paulus Noah has questioned the formula used to determine Namibia's ranking on the latest worldwide corruption perception index. Namibia lost 2 points on the Transparency International Index and received a total score of 49 out of a possible 100. A score below 50 puts the country on Global Watchdog's orange list, an indicator that has serious corruption problems. Noah's position is that Transparency International evaluation of countries in Southern Africa appears to largely focus on economic, human rights, and other factors rather than factual corruption data of how corruption is being dealt with. Allgemeine Zeitung shows a new headquarters building which the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration and Security is moving into today. Both of the ministry's existing premises in North Industrial Area and Independence Avenue will be occupying the new building from now on. The new building is located on the corner of Husiakutako Drive and Harvey Street, opposite the Namibia Electoral Commission. All offices are temporarily closed from today, and landlines are shut down until the doors of the new premises will open for business on the 1st of February. Births will meanwhile be registered directly at the hospitals, while Rhino Park Private Hospital will issue all death certificates. Republican leads with the Fish Rothschild's bail application and the continuing testimony by the Anti-Corruption Commission's lead investigator, Chief Inspector Andreas Kanyangela, told the High Court yesterday about some of the email correspondences involving James Haitukulupi as one of the accused on the corruption scandal. Kanyangela pointed out that Haitukulupi's appointment as chairman of the Fish Corps board had been done contrary to the prescribed procedure. And now some of the other eye-catching items from the inside pages of today's newspapers. The Namibians reporter was in attendance at a meeting where primary school in Walvis Bay summoned the parents to brief them about the alleged criminal activities some of the children have been involved in. 9 boys between the ages of 11 and 14 old up about their daily activities, disclosing how sometimes steal people's dog or steal badges off of cars and sell them, or bullying and assaulting other children. A police inspector at the meeting advised the parents to be aware of such developments and not to wait until the matter becomes serious. According to Allgemeine Zeitung, the Namibian police has urged the public never to touch them and suspected explosives, but to report it to the nearest police station. This comes after the detection of various explosives by NAMPO's explosive sub-departments in different regions this month. The explosives discovered include an AK-47 rifle, 8 rocket-propelled grenades, 10 high-explosive mortars from the former Soviet Union, 4 smoke grenades, 10 NPCG-3 magazines, and a tripwire flare. The explosives were found in the regions of Oshana, Ohangwena, Kavango West, Erongo, and Khomas. In most cases, they were spotted in communal farms where people were busy tending their fields, while some were spotted by children playing in the fields. Namibian Sun published a reaction by the Minister of Justice, Yvonne Dausab, who is recommending legal safeguards to protect members of the public from losing their homes through repossessions. Concerns have been raised about the manner in which vulnerable members of society are particularly at risk in the current economic climate. The discussions come as the Bank of Namibia published a report this week laying out the sharp increases in households losing their homes and other assets as loans at a total of over 230 million Namibian dollars could not be paid back last year. Republican features a tribute to the life of Dr. Helene de Kock-Claassen, who had a passion for uplifting her community. She gave up a career as a medical doctor in South Africa to join her husband on the farm in Gobabis area in Namibia. However, she continued assisting the local community in its medical needs while also becoming an outstanding author, a number of fictional and non-fictional books related to her life experiences. And finally, in football news, New Era reports on the skepticism expressed by local sports analysts on Botswana's proposal to jointly host the African Cup of Nations tournament in 2027 with Namibia as co-host. While both the Botswana Football Association and the Botswana Football Association have reportedly already gotten approval from their country's cabinet to host the 2027 Continental Football Showpiece, Namibia is, on the other hand, faced with challenges on almost all fronts. Infrastructure is seen as a major obstacle, with both the country's main stadiums in the capital not currently meeting the standards for international match hosting. And that is it for your Friday edition of NMH at 1. Thank you so much for joining me and have a blessed, safe weekend. We'll see you again next week at the same time, always at the same place. Until then, here's your weather update.